Okay guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Still we are going through AI, or what we call all of us know as artificial intelligence, and actually I'm still using a human digit recognition model in order to take you through artificial intelligence. Now by far we are about to come to the end of our model building, and I think at least most of you can at least attempt a question or can at least build a model by 70%. So today we are still continuing with our model, and my name's Damida Owen James, a student of Makerere University. Currently, this is a course of artificial intelligence, and actually this is a project which I'm working on. So I'm building a model whereby it's able to predict digits. Like when you write a 4, it can just use its neural networks and determines the number which has been entered. So my name is Adama James, a student from Makerere University again, currently in Uganda. So today we are going to look at some few things, especially about when you're doing our notebook. What does a notebook consist of? Some of you have ever been to Cargo, but you don't know what notebook consists of. So first of all, we have the operation matrices, heat maps, box plots, and blah blah. So all of this content you'll be able to understand what it means by the end of this video. And another thing, I'm gonna post the link to my data set. You'll be able to you'll be able to you'll be able to you'll be able to understand how you get the data set. Then I also upload my notebook in the description below after the video. So you can even get my notebook and be able to determine how I have been implementing all of this in my notebook using Python. Remember, you have to download Jupyter Notebook because you have to run it in Anaconda. So today we are starting with the correlation matrices. So these ones display the correlation coefficients for different variables. Especially most of us have ever done mathematics in A level. So I mean, like when the correlation matrix is 1, that means that data is good. So if you look at my label is 1. That means the correlation matrix between the input and the output is actually very good, meaning there's no error, meaning data is very good. But if you look at the pixels, remember, my data set uses pixels. Actually, I've been explaining these things from the start up to the end, so I won't take more time there. So if you look at that 0.2, that means the pixels are not very good. And these are the cons which I should eliminate because they don't produce good data. So that's all about you need to know about the correlation matrix. Then I come to heat maps. Heat maps help us to visualize data in the form of colors. It helps us to determine how many values, which quantum data has been entered more than the other. But we just use colors. And so if you want to know how I implemented this in Python, you can use my notebook and download it and run it in your Jupyter notebook. You will understand it very well. Then I come to box plots. Box plots enable us to determine some things. Okay, we just get the statistical data, some statistics about the data, and actually that's how it comes from. Now, if you look at my zero, this is the box plot for the label column. This meaning that my data is from 0 to 9, as you can see. Then they are saying where from down up to here, that means that 25% of my data is below 2, and then from here up to here means 75% of my data is below 7. And they are saying 50% of my data is between 2 and 6, and the median value that was mostly being entered was a 4. That's why you see that orange, you can see that orange line. So I continue again. So now I come to outer airports. Multiple these are values which are out of range. For example, we special when you normally plot values and there's a plot which is far from others. That means that's what we want to determine. And for this data set, it didn't have any outliers, and actually I implemented it in my notebooks so you can download it and run it and able to see what I'm meaning. Then I come to feature independent spots. Feature independent spots, so this one I'll talk about this because they are self-explanatory, and you can go through that. My notebook, be able to see how I got. Okay, it can any possible graph that can be obtained from data set. Then time series space enables to determine how time varies if some certain columns, and this is also implemented in the notebook. Then I come to explore and cleaning data. So this one involves removing duplicate values, missing values, and unwanted observations for data sets. So if you look at my column, I have a label column, I have a label column, but if you look at pixels, label pixel 0, its mean is 0.00. And this means all the values are 0 in that column, meaning I don't need that that those clones. So I have to remove it when I'm exploring that okay that. And this helps us to get data, enables us to analyze data very well without analyzing unnecessary data. So actually, you can even fix actual errors. It also involves moving outliers, so you can do more about exploring and cleaning data. Then, so we can also validate this. I come to splitting data. So we have split data into train, validation, and test. So why do we split? There are some reasons because when you get your data set, you split into train, valid, and also test. Train is used for training the model for model learning. Then validation is used for to provide to get any unbiased evaluation. Then test data is for unbiased evaluation of the final model. So actually, this can help us to know why we do all those things. And you can still understand in my pandas notebook. So I come to fitting of model. Fitting of model is actually using any classification, because this model uses classification because it has any classes. So you use any classification model in order to include generalization, which includes both learning and memorization. Get no difference between learning and memorization because you know why we fit our models. So, and actually, if you can see here, when I fixed my model, I was able to take out a pixel zero because it contained only zero, the pixel zero code, because it contained only zero numbers. So I come to hyperparameter tuning. So these ones enable us to determine setting something in order to produce something which is good. So, but when you're not even using anything in the the training. So I have also implemented this in the notebook. So I have I use two methods, which is the random forest classifier and also the k-40 cost validation. This one uses n estimators and max depth, then hyperparameter uses a CVO, what we call a cost validation. Then I come to evaluation. So here we just get to know about the what's the F1 score recall. I actually have ever talked about F1 score recall precision and dash yourself. So my model is actually 0.10 everywhere. And then, so if you want to know even, so this is the link to my data set and notebook. I'm gonna put it in the description, or a link to my Google folder whereby you can access it in my Google folder. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching again. Please don't forget to subscribe.